Namaste, Goa Flow-ers. How are you? I am Anita Goa, for those of you who are new to me and my channel. Today I am offering you a little bit of a new series. It's actually not so new. I had started with interviewing people that I admire and that inspire me when I first started my YouTube channel, and I called it Let's Goa. So I want to continue with it and interview and have conversations with people who inspire me. So today I am Let's Going with Katie Dalbout, who is the author of Let It Out, a wonderful book that I shared in my May favorites. And we are basically talking about journaling, letting it out on paper, getting clarity in our thoughts, and also we're focusing on disordered thinking, disordered eating, as well as a body image. So that's basically the focus of this video. In the book, there are so many different tools that you can use for every different challenge that you might have in your life. So you definitely need to check the book out. I, in advance, apologize for the quality of this video. It was my first time doing a Skype interview, and I have a little bit to learn. But just like a yoga practice, practice, and then it gets better. So I hope that you enjoy this conversation that I'm having with my very good friend, Katie Dalbout, and let me know in the comment box below how you enjoy it, so both Katie and I will know. Give it a thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure that you subscribe for more free content. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so let's go out with Katie Dalbout. Hi, Katie.
Hi, I'm so excited to be with you, Anita. This is going to be so much fun.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you finally. It's been taking a little bit of effort for us to connect, me in London and you in America, and the different time zones, but we made it.
Yeah,
Yay!
We made it. It took us a while to connect, but then when we both just happened to be in New York, we just ran into each other with ease. So
isn't that funny?
It's
that
so funny
so
how
funny.
life works. When we try to plan it, it's so challenging, but when we just run into each other at Hugh Kitchen, it's fantastic.
It is so funny. That really cracked me up. Congratulations, Katie, on your book. It is really fantastic. I've enjoyed reading it, and I know how challenging it is to write a book. How has it been?
And it's been so fantastic to see people's experiences with it, especially because the book is very experiential. It's very interactive. It's 55 journal exercises, journal prompts. There's a little bit about my story sprinkled in there, but it's really interactive. There's tools to get organized, tools to get going, tools to help you feel and reveal, and tools for everything you could ever want. And it's something that people really get to use themselves in their lives. And that's been fun to see people actually doing it, not just buying the book and reading it, but actually having an experience with it has been fantastic.
And what I experienced actually from reading the book was that it's amazing when you start to put your thoughts down on paper and you look back at your thoughts and you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of crap on this page.
Yeah.
And that crap came from inside of here.
Yeah, right.
So when you start to really look at that and you try to explore that and let out what it is that's inside, that can be quite revolutionary. But there was something about reading your book that it became just so much more clear to me that thoughts really manifest in things that we want and things that maybe we don't want.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just like organizing my closet or organizing a drawer, or I've been a lot into decluttering since I moved to London. Well, I've been into that my whole entire life, but I've been able to organize things much more. And I think that I'm at a point where I'm organizing my thoughts also probably in a better way, smarter way, more productive way. So what I'd like you to share with our Goa Flow-ers is talk a little bit about, disordered thinking and how that related to you when it came to your disordered eating having anorexia. So could you give us some tools that maybe you can start with if this resonates with you?
Yeah. So there's lots of questions in there. I think a lot of us have that. A lot of us have these really negative thought patterns. We have these really intense beliefs about ourselves that are negative, and really essentially at the core of them, they're all a little bit different, but I think the common thread is that they're telling us we're not good enough. We're not smart enough. We're not pretty enough. Our calves aren't small enough. Our thighs, our stomach, our whatever isn't good enough. And a lot of times, at least I'll speak for myself, the reason that I felt my body wasn't good enough was because I felt at my core as a human being, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't cool enough. I couldn't hold my own as a person with my personality. So I was like, okay, I'll just make my body really perfect and awesome. And so I focused on making my body my masterpiece rather than my life or my personality. And life isn't just about making your body beautiful and perfect, because there is no perfection. And the reality with your body is that it's going to constantly be changing throughout your life. So to put all this pressure on making your body look a certain way is really fleeting, because it's constantly going to be changing. So it's about making your life as a whole really beautiful and awesome. And that is why I found journaling so effective, because awareness is the first step to change. Having the awareness of the thoughts in your mind, and why do you feel like so much that you need to change your body? Is it because of the media? Is it because of something that your mom said to you, or the way she modeled her relationship with her body? Is it something that someone else, a friend, a mentor? What is it? Why do you feel so dissatisfied with the way your body looks? Because usually it's a deeper issue. Usually it's not just your body, it's what's going on mentally, internally. And when I was really hitting a low point with my eating disorder, when I was surrounded by dietitians and mentors and therapists and really in the healing of it, I was, like I said, surrounded by people, surrounded by support, but I felt dreadfully lonely. And that was because I didn't know myself. And so I found myself in this bookstore, and I had a gift card. I was in the self-help section because I was reading every self-help book known to man, every health book, every diet book. And I was just like, I know all this information, but like, why do I still feel so bad? And I wandered out of the self-help section over to the stationery section, and I just picked up this colorful journal, and I was like, this is what I'm going to spend my gift card on. And that summer, no one told me to do this. This was totally like from my intuition. I just sat outside writing about my feelings, processing what was going on in my mind, and it felt cathartic to me. It made me feel like I was validating these feelings in my mind. And I was able to understand what is the emotion? Because on every emotion, behind the emotion is a feeling, right? And our emotions inform our actions. So that, going to the first part of your question, our thoughts do become things. I'm a huge student of Abraham Hicks, and I'm a huge student of understanding that our thoughts do manifest in some way. But if you can really understand the why of that, it's because our thoughts create our emotions, our feelings, right? So if you're thinking, I'm so ugly, you're going to feel bad or sad. And then when you feel bad and sad, the actions that you take are going to be from this place of disempowerment, right? But if you feel like I'm beautiful, I'm awesome, you're going to feel happy and joyful, and you're going to sit up straighter, and you're going to do happier, more productive actions, right? So if you look at it from that way, it's very important to understand what actually is going on up there. And not to say that you have to only write down the good stuff, because I don't believe in that at all. I think it's important to get out the gunk. That's why I named my book Let It Out. And no one's ever asked me this before, but like, the reason I came up with that name actually is because when I was a kid and I was sick, like had the flu or something, my mom would be with me in the bathroom, and she would always be like, just let it out, you got to get it out, like if you're throwing up, right? And so it's literally like that. You're throwing up these bad thoughts. You got to get them out, and then you can deal with them, then you can sort through them, then you can organize them, and you can choose again. And so that's really how this whole thing came to be. That was a very long answer.
That's great, but that's really, 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 really great. I love that with the throwing up because I
Yeah.
have that too. I always have to throw up. I can't hold it.
Yeah.
And I always say that to my son too. Just throw up. It's great that you
Yeah.
can
Let it
throw up.
out.
Just let it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that. So if this resonates with any of the Goa Flowers listening here or watching here and feel that they have disordered thinking and body image challenges, what are a few steps that they could take? Like
Yeah.
just right off the bat, just get a book, get your book, obviously, first and foremost, read it, and then get a journaling book.
Yeah, I mean, I think that my book is great for people with body image issues for sure because that was my biggest struggle and is my currently my biggest struggle and has been the biggest sword in my spine. But the difference now and 2, 3, 5 years ago is that I have these tools to deal with it. So when I'm having a bad body image moment, it doesn't turn into a bad body image day or week. I can shift out of it. And I think that's fantastic. And if anyone wants to get started with journaling right now today, before they even get my book, although my book I really love it and you should get it, it's cool. However, just simply get a journal. You don't even need anything fancy. You can just use your computer or even a piece of computer paper and just simply ask yourself a good question. If you ask yourself a good question, you'll get a good answer, right? So if you ask yourself a negative framed question like, why is everything so terrible, right? Your brain will go out and look for things in your life that make your life terrible, and it will tell you why it's terrible, right? But if you reframe that question to look on the opposite side of things for how can I improve my life or what is good about my current situation, your mind will go out and look for things that are good, right? And so that's really a fantastic way to get started. And when it comes to body image, you can apply that to your body. Like, what are the good things about your body, right? Like, my legs allow me to walk where I need to walk, and I can eat and I don't get sick, and I can whatever, right? Like, you can do all these amazing things when your body, when you come to it from this place of gratitude, you're rooted in that, and it really allows you to see your body differently. So I think that's one thing.
I think that journaling and writing things down and just like yoga is a practice. Just getting used to writing down every single day and let it out. And maybe within a course of 30 days, you'll start to see a red thread that goes through it of what thoughts start to repeat themselves and then say, okay, this is really what I'm thinking. Now, is this serving me in the best way possible?
Yeah. It's funny, I haven't gotten to talk about this yet before either, but there's actually, I think, a lot of parallels with yoga and journaling as a practice, like you said. And you know this, but for the people listening, I have been really into yoga since I was in high school, and it's a huge part of my life, and I teach as well. But when I was writing the book, I realized that with journaling, it's one of the very, very few things left in our world that you can't multitask with, right? It requires complete presence. It requires you to be with yourself, which is very scary, right? It puts the mirror up in your face. And we often want to distract ourselves from our thoughts and our feelings and that awareness. And instead of feeling our feelings, we cope, right? We cope by overeating, over-exercising, under-eating, controlling our food. Some people do it with drugs or alcohol or relationships. Social media. Yeah. I've done a little bit of all of it myself, like we cope. And that's okay sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to feel your feelings and you're just not ready to process it and you want to watch TV, and that's okay. I think you have to be, there are times when I feel like pregnant with something I need to let out of me and I need to feel and process, but I just don't want to. I want to just watch a funny TV show, and that's okay. But eventually I have to feel it, or it gets caught up in our body and our hips, and then pigeon is really painful. You know what I mean? It goes somewhere unless you let it out. And so I think the practice of journaling and the practice of yoga are very similar in the way that you have to be present. You can't be on a walk or driving while you're journaling or while you're doing yoga. You have to be there with yourself, and that's scary but powerful and healthy.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the only way. And personally, I like to write down in a book. I like to use pen and paper because I feel like I'm so much on my phone and so much on the computer that doesn't feel as therapeutic to me. It almost feels more like work to me. So for me to write it down and actually use my hand and my pen to write it down, that to me is what I like to do. So, but everyone has to find their own way to see what works, but try to keep it as a practice and try to do it daily. And you train yourself then to watch and to listen and to feel and to just notice the pattern or the red thread, I think, through it all while you're letting it out.
Yeah.
Get to know your internal world and see how that reflects in your external world. Thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you so much. I think the world of you. I'm so glad that you're my friend. I can't wait till we can hang out again soon. And I would love to come to London and see you, or the next time we're in New York together. It's just so great to know you and have you in my life. Thanks for having me.
I know. I thank you so much, too, for being in my life. You're a true inspiration. And it shows that, you know, by you having let out so much, on paper, you are one of the most productive millennials, I think, that I know.
Oh, thank you.
You know, for my viewers, all of you Goa Flow-ers, Katie has a full-time job while she's full-time doing her blog, social media, as well as her podcast, Wellness Wonderland. So I don't know anyone who is more productive than you, Katie.
Yeah,
so
gosh, I
your
do a
practice
lot.
and your work and your organization of your mind is certainly helping and working.
Oh, thank you. You're amazing and beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And everyone, go and get your own copy of Let It Out. Start journaling if you're not already. And share with us how you enjoyed this, and let us know if you have any questions or just comments. Give it a thumbs up. And,
we'll both comment back in the comments.
Good. Thank you, Katie. I see you soon. Mwah.